Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. As Ridge and Taylor enjoy the holidays, Brooke promises to win him back by Christmas of next year. The Forrester and Logan families celebrate the holidays today on the Bold and the Beautiful, but this year's festivities are a touch different. Ridge is not going to put up a nice front, holiday or not. Rather, he complains to Eric that Brooke took the company away from the Forrester clan and sided with Hope. As visitors slowly start to arrive, first Taylor and then Zend, the conversation shifts to Pam bringing 5 different casseroles and Santa's hidden presents. Entering, Steffi and Finn inform everyone that the children are sending Santa an email with their last-minute present requests. Taylor mysteriously pulls a box out of the Forrester Christmas tree. She claims to be Ridge's secret Santa as she hands it to him. "Woman, do you not see how this operates?" She gives him the pen she bought him for their first Christmas together, saying he used it to write her a lot of love letters. And perhaps he will be motivated to do so once more. The holidays are anything but joyous at Brooke's house as she laments her problems with Ridge to Katie. In order to return the company to the Forrester, Brooke merely accepted Carter's offer of the CEO role, and she wishes she could have told Ridge that. Then, Brooke claims, the last thing she anticipated was that Ridge would turn immediately to Taylor after her apparent betrayal. Yes, if only there were some historical proof that this is precisely what would occur. Bridget, who flew up from Vienna, comes. Hope and Carter show up while she's catching up on the most recent rumors. Hope apologizes for her mom's relationship getting entangled in the controversy surrounding the coup. By bringing out bottles of alcohol and inviting Hope to participate in a taste test, Carter helps defuse the situation. Brooke tells Katie that she didn't have time to explain her strategy to Ridge during that time. She says, "But I'm not going to give up on him." In addition to a secret Santa present, Pam gives Donna something she bought herself from Donna because she knows Eric's wife wouldn't bring her anything. It turns out that the pajamas match. According to Pam, she and Stephanie used to buy identical pajamas for each other. Since her sister is no longer living with them, she got them for Donna. Reluctantly, Pam acknowledges that she views Donna like a sister. Although Zend acknowledges to Ridge and Eric that it's strange to be at Forrester without them, Eric claims that it's beneficial that he is there to represent the family. In an attempt to persuade Taylor to lead the group in singing the 12 Days of Christmas, Finn breaks in. Ridge disagrees with Taylor's insistence that now isn't the time to be silly. They need a little silly, and now is the ideal moment. Tonight is only for fun, and tomorrow they can take care of everything else. Hope and Carter canoodle contentedly in a corner of the living room. After knowing each other for so long, they talk about how strange it is that they finally found each other. Hope says, "What a crazy ride it's been." Bridget, who obviously hasn't been reading the family newsletter, is shocked when Carter declares that this is the first of many holidays they will spend together and they kiss. Regarding the takeover, Bridget states, "This is beginning to make a whole lot more sense." Having experienced numerous miracles in her life, Brooke claims to believe in them and that there will be more in the future. As Steffi and Finn are canoodling, she expresses her gratitude for being married to such a great man. Ridge informs Taylor across the room that he doesn't want to consider the negative aspects. Steffi, who is overjoyed to see her parents together, approaches him because he simply wants to be with them. She says, "I've been saying it for years. The two of you work so well together." The Logan sisters and Carter are singing "Deck the Halls" as the episode comes to a finish, but Brooke slips off to text Ridge. It is signed XO and says, "Thinking of you and wishing you a Merry Christmas." Steffi is toasting the assembled Forresters at that same moment. She continues, "I know that Grandma is grinning down on us right now. Her presence is palpable in the space, in this home that united us for holidays, birthdays, and weddings. However, there seems to be more magic in the air. It truly accentuates their love for one another." She enumerates her blessings, which include her husband Finn and Taylor's return to their home. She ends by saying, "Nothing compares to the power of Christmas." Ridge receives Brooke's text at that precise moment. While Brooke stares out the window of her house, he looks out the window of the Forrester estate. She promises herself that she will put things right. Ridge. We will be together by Christmas of next year. She remembers the kiss she had with Ridge under the mistletoe last year. In a brief speech, Zen thanks Pam for her cooking and reminds everyone that the evening is about Jesus' birth. Taylor discusses the value of showing kindness and compassion to others and the interconnectedness of all people. At last, Eric gets up to tell everyone that they are more than just a family. Our name is Foresters. And I want us to continue doing it in the upcoming year. There will be many challenges and opportunities in this new year. Nothing is impossible for us as long as we love and trust one another. Eric sits at the piano and leads everyone in the usual singing of We Wish You a Merry Christmas after kissing Donna. We at Soaps.com share that sentiment, and we wish you and your family have an amazing holiday season. Brooke promises to get Ridge back by next Christmas, and Ridge remembers Brooke as the Foresters join Eric in a carol. While Steffi hoped for a Christmas miracle, half-naked Taylor stopped Brooke before he could explain anything to Ridge. He says Merry Christmas to his son at Eric's. I suppose he didn't anticipate spending the holidays living with him. Ridge doesn't want to consider it, but he can't forgive Brooke for betraying them by supporting Carter and Hope. Pam, Zend, and Donna enter. Pam has been working hard in the kitchen, creating snowmen out of lemon bars and green bean casserole. They are joined by Steffi and Finn, who explain that the children are modifying their present lists at the last minute in order to send them to Santa. Taylor joins the celebration and declares that she would prefer not be anywhere else. When Steffi sees her parents grinning at one another, she smiles back. Pam bursts with laughter as she waits to share her secret Santa present. Since their first Christmas together, Taylor has been Ridge's secret Santa, giving him the pen. He claims it's flawless, but he believed it was gone forever. She hopes to inspire him once more by reminding him that he used it to write her the most beautiful notes. Pam gives Donna her Christmas pajamas as a present. She reveals that she and Stephanie sued to get identical ones. It surprises Donna that she considers her a sister. Pam is unsure if she would phrase it that way. In order to put their troubles aside for the day, the others persuade Taylor to lead them in a performance of the 12 Days of Christmas. Steffi is informed by Finn that the children are currently seeing their Christmas film. Being married to a man like him makes her feel incredibly fortunate. They share a kiss. Ridge expresses his gratitude to Taylor for her presents. Steffi approaches and says, "This looks promising," as they clasp hands. She has been cheering them on for years and is thrilled to witness this moment. Steffi expresses to everyone how unique this year is. She is thrilled to see her mother back and senses Stephanie's presence. Nothing compares to Christmas's power. Taylor gives her a hug. Brooke glances at the tree at home with sadness. Brooke says she wishes things hadn't ended the way they did with Ridge, and Katie joins her. She clarifies that she merely accepted the CEO role in order to persuade Carter to change his mind. That strategy didn't work out. She wasn't prepared for Ridge to turn to Taylor right away. Bridget shows up. When she heard about the altercation with Ridge, she came right away. Before Carter and Hope enter, she summarizes all that has happened. Hope gives her mother a hug and shows her the painting from Beth, saying she's sorry she can't be there. Carter believes they should start drinking wine. Hope tells her mother how beautiful the house is. She apologizes because she and Ridge were torn apart by the conflict at Forrester. After she leaves, Katie forces her sister to eat some tomatoes. Brooke can relate to Ridge's sense of betrayal. She will not abandon him. Carter is taken aside by Hope, who informs him that she created a list of her goals for the previous year. He's everything she's ever wanted. They, in his opinion, demonstrate that there is a person for everyone. This is the first of many holidays they will have. He kisses them and waves mistletoe over their heads. When Bridget notices this, she almost spits up her drink. Katie and Brooke affirm their relationship. Bridget now understands the takeover. Brooke continues to hold out hope for a miracle. Brooke texts Ridge to let him know she's thinking about him while they perform Deck the Halls. She promises to put things right and that they will be together by Christmas of the following year. She remembers their kiss beneath the mistletoe from the previous year. As he reads Brooke's text back at Eric's, Ridge regretfully thinks of her. He is dragged back to the visitors by his delighter. Taylor gives a lecture about the need for more love in the world, while Zen talks about Jesus. Eric tells them how much he loves them all and concurs with all that has been said. He wants them to maintain their pride as they face the hardships of the upcoming year. Nothing is impossible for them as long as they love and trust one another. They sing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" while he sits at the piano. This is the new mystery character. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful hint that the cast was introduced to an interesting person at the most recent annual holiday party. Fans should expect to see a lot more of this actress, who wasn't a plus one. Learn about a new character that will be joining the soap opera in the new year and what it might entail for the characters that are currently on the canvas. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Muriel Hilaire joins the ensemble. The actress is Muriel Hilaire, and it appears that she is portraying Daphne, a character that will make her debut on Tuesday, January 7th. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, who is this new mystery character? Since there isn't any additional information available about the new actress or the role she is portraying, it's reasonable to be skeptical of what little is known. We predict that Hilaire might be a recast of Zoe Buckingham because soap operas are known to occasionally pull a few zingers. B&B spoilers, is Daphne Muriel Hilaire? Kiara Barnes's character Zoe made her debut and exited the show. Heartbreak was the foundation of Zoe and Carter Walton's turbulent romance. During her time with Thomas Forrester, Zoe discovered that he was using her to rekindle Hope Logan's interest in him. This was painful, and because Carter officiated Thomas and Zoe's wedding, he contributed to the breakup of the couple. At the altar, Zoe was really a betrayed bride. Muriel Hilaire meets her co-stars in The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Good man. Unfortunately, Carter assisted Zoe in healing over her heartbreak, and the two were engaged. However, Zoe discovered that he was having an affair with her friend Quinn Forrester, therefore the romance was not meant to be. When Quinn had her affair, she was married to Eric Forrester, and Carter recently deceived him once more. B&B spoilers, will Zoe Buckingham's make a comeback? Zoe went to work for Forrester International's Paris branch after receiving the dreadful news. After a few years, Paris Buckingham, Zoe's sister, is getting married to Thomas. Diamond and Thomas are also employed at FI in Paris. What a coinkydink! Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, will Carter Walton be taken by surprise? The possibility of Zoe returning to town, possibly with Thomas in Paris, could complicate Hope and Carter's already intense romance. B&B enthusiasts, please share your thoughts on this possible narrative twist. When Brooke notices Taylor wearing Ridge's shirt, she dashes outside. Anticipation permeated the Forrester estate's chilly morning air. After a sleepless night full of uncertainties and questions, Brooke Logan made the decision that she could no longer ignore Ridge's life. She sought clarification, explanations, and most importantly, the truth regarding her relationship status with the man she still loved. She practiced the phrases she had been dying to say as she drove to the estate with a resolute determination. But there was nothing that could save her from what she was about to see. Through the open windows, Brooke could hear the gentle bustle of holiday activities as he got closer to the great entryway. Ridge's distinctive baritone voice, the clinking of coffee cups, and Steffi's laughter were all audible to her. Brooke paused for a second, wondering if she had timed it correctly. However, she was propelled onward by the sight of Ridge's vehicle sitting in the driveway. This was her chance to defend her marriage and remind Ridge of their decades-old relationship. Brooke entered through the slightly open front door, which creaked. She was surrounded by the smell of freshly brewed coffee and the warmth of the fireplace, but her heart was pounding with fear. Her heels clicked lightly on the marble floor as she walked silently down the corridor. Her breath froze in her throat as she arrived in the living room. Taylor Hayes was standing by the window, wearing one of Ridge's shirts. The baggy gown draped loosely on her little body, and Brooke felt the familiarity of it sting her deeply. It was more than simply a shirt, it was his, and she had witnessed him wearing it innumerable times throughout their marriage. There was no mistaking the scene's intimacy. Taylor sipped her coffee with a calm expression and slightly ruffled hair. Ridge was close by, he was comfortable and talking softly to her. Brooke's entire world shook. As she tried to make sense of what she was seeing, her mind raced. The weight of her emotions overcame any rational answer she tried to summon. After everything Brooke had been through, seeing Taylor wearing Ridge's jersey seemed like a slap in the face and a clear indication of their rekindled bond. "Brooke?" Her shocked quiet was broken by Ridge's voice. He had turned to see her standing at the doorway, her eyes wide with shock and her face pallid. Taylor followed his eyes, her face changing from astonishment to something like sympathy. Although Brooke's lips parted, she remained silent. Breathing became challenging as the air seemed to thicken around her. At last, she whispered, "How could you?" With his hands up as though to appease her, Ridge took a step forward. "This isn't what it looks like, Brooke." However, Taylor had put down her coffee cup and crossed her arms defensively, and Brooke's eyes were focused on her. "Isn't it?" With her voice shaking with a mixture of sadness and rage, Brooke shot back. "Because it appears that you have moved on from where I am standing." And, of all people, with her. Brooke felt even more enraged by Taylor's composed manner. She murmured softly, "Brooke, I'm sorry you had to witness this. However, Ridge and I have been hanging out. You were aware of this." Brooke's heart felt like it was being twisted by the nonchalant admission. Her eyes were gleaming with unshed tears as she returned her focus to Ridge. Her voice cracked as she said, "Ridge, I fought for us. I waited. I gave you the room you requested. And this is your way of paying me back?" Ridge, obviously having trouble finding the perfect words, combed his hair. "I didn't mean to hurt you, Brooke. However, things have been difficult. Taylor and I have reunited in unexpected ways." For Brooke, the admission was like a physical blow. Her palm automatically gripped her chest as though to stabilize herself as she stepped back. "Complicated?" she said sourly again. "With you, Ridge, things are always complex. However, this is treachery." Brooke's comments hung heavy in the air, and the room grew silent. Attracted by the increased noises, Steffi and Thomas emerged in the doorway. Brooke's embarrassment was only increased by their presence. She felt vulnerable, as though her suffering were clearly visible to everyone. Brooke turned and ran, unable to bear the sight any longer. As she staggered out the door and into the chilly morning air, she hardly noticed that Ridge was calling after her. Her eyes began to well up with tears that she had struggled so hard to suppress. Her hands quivering with anger and anguish, she fumbled for her car keys, her eyesight blurring. It was a haze on the trip back to her house. Brooke was shaking by the time she got there, her feelings threatening to overwhelm her. Sobs tore through her body as she fell onto the couch and buried her face in her hands. Like a cruel, mocking reminder of her dashed hopes, the picture of Taylor wearing Ridge's shirt kept coming back to her. Brooke's grief started to turn to rage as the day went on. She reflected on the numerous occasions she had stood up for Ridge and the sacrifices she had made to maintain their relationship. And yet here she was, rejected for Taylor once more. For the first time, Brooke started to wonder if Ridge was really worth the suffering because the cycle seemed to go on forever. Later that afternoon, Hope showed up, hugging her mother with obvious anxiety. "What happened, Mom?" she said softly. Unsure of how much to reveal, Brooke paused. She described the morning's events in hesitant, sobbing sentences, but her need to release her burden overcame her pride. Hope listened carefully, her face displaying a mixture of pity and annoyance. She forcefully stated, "Mom, you deserve better than this. For far too long, Ridge has taken you for granted. It might be time to let him go." Slowly, Brooke nodded, her daughter's words echoing in her mind. However, it was difficult to let go of Ridge. The idea of living without him was intolerable because of how intricately their past was intertwined and how profoundly they loved one another. Nevertheless, the picture of Taylor wearing that clothing was a clear reminder of the situation she was in. Brooke started reevaluating her priorities in the days that followed. She found strength in her family's steadfast devotion for her and relied on them for support. reminding her of the strong, self-reliant woman she had always been. Donna and Katie rallied around her. Katie smiled and remarked, "You're a Logan. And Logans don't allow anyone to make them less bright." In an effort to make fresh memories that would not be marred by Ridge's betrayal, Brooke poured herself into holiday preparations as Christmas drew near. She found comfort in the small pleasures of the season as she decked her house with festive decorations and sparkling lights. The warmth of her family's presence and the joy of her grandkids served as a reminder to her that love was not limited to romantic relationships. Meanwhile, Ridge was struggling to deal with the fallout from his deeds. Although he felt comforted by Taylor's presence, his conscience was troubled by the hurt he had caused Brooke. Despite their disagreements, Brooke had always been his rock. He couldn't deny it. He was conflicted by the knowledge and confused of what to do next. As the snow started to fall outside on Christmas Eve, Brooke stood at the window, her spirit unwavering despite her aching heart. Hope put an arm around her shoulders and joined her. She whispered, "Mom, we're here for you no matter what." Despite her tears, Brooke smiled, thankful for the affection she was surrounded by. She would always be reminded of what she had lost by the vision of Taylor wearing Ridge's shirt. But whether Ridge was there or not, Brooke felt she had the strength to start over. Brooke silently promised herself that she would treasure the love she had, let go of the hurt, and welcome the promise of a better future as the clock struck midnight, the start of Christmas.